Hi, Sharks. My name is RC, and I live in New York City with my 3 dogs, Marty, Hank, and Odin, a.k.a. the 3 Musketeers. Today, I'm seeking $100,000 in exchange for 10% ownership in my company, Woof. Sharks, America loves their pets. In fact, over 70% of American households have a pet. But what would happen to those pets if something unexpected had to happen to the owner, like a car accident, or a heart attack, or a shark attack? As a dog dad of 3 living in New York City, that scenario terrifies me. And that's why I created Woof, a smartphone app that's designed to rescue your pet if something unexpected happens to you. Woof's mission is to bring pet parents peace of mind. So how does the app work? Woof utilizes a geolocation timer that is linked to your home address that automatically starts when you leave home and stops when you return. You preset that timer, and if that timer ever expires before you return home, that means your pet's well-being may be at risk and Woof's support structure kicks in. First, we're gonna reach out to you. Then your emergency contact list, and if we can't confirm your pet's safety, we're going to initiate a wellness check to come rescue your pet. Best of all, Woof utilizes a set it and forget it model and works entirely in the background. So Sharks, who wants to throw me a bone and come join the Woof Pack?
All right, so I think it's an interesting idea. It sounds kind of like an insurance plan. So I'm curious as to how much the monthly cost is or yearly cost is, and how many, at $1 million valuation, how many, subscribers and revenue does RC already have set up in the pipe or going into the pipeline? Because depending on how much we're talking about and what kind of support are we talking about, like, is somebody going to break into the house to rescue your pet if need be? I guess if it was like an extreme situation, but I would hope that you would get to a place where you wouldn't have to necessarily break into the house to do that. I personally, we have enough people around us that, to take care of our pets, I could open up the garage door or whatever, but if something happened to me, there's people that would definitely be able to go in and take care of, to me or my wife, we would be able to make it happen, I think. But so interesting idea. In New York City, I have friends up there in Manhattan, and none of them, I think, have pets, or at least dogs, maybe a cat or 2, but that, that if that's a thing, like, you could use for any pets or just dogs. But I could see where, like, they don't necessarily have friends that live in their building. Like, you don't, like, most of them never, that I know of, talk to their neighbors or anything like that on a regular basis to expect them to, like, kick down their door and get their pet out, unless it was some extreme situation. But I think there probably is a market for it. Pet owners will buy almost anything. So I think there's something there. Anyway, we're going to check out RC's website at the end, as well as his social media, and see what he's got going on there. As well as feature one of your comments from down below in the super community.
Have you sold any of this to anybody?
Oh, of course. The app's been out for about 3 months. There's been 4 instances of support. It has not escalated to a point where we need to go and rescue the dogs, thankfully. But they've, gone out for longer than they expected. Their timer expired, and they were happy that I went and checked in on them. But this could apply to any scenario. If you're going to work, you're already out for 8 hours, you're on the way home, you get into a car accident, you then go to the hospital, and you don't have family around in the city, then your dogs are going to be in that apartment or house, whatever you have, for a long time.
It's part of your service that somebody from the Woof Network will actually go to my house, walk the dogs, feed the dogs.
Let's say step 2 happens. Your emergency contacts don't answer. We then wait 2 additional hours. We go to step 3, the final step of support. We initiate a wellness check. That means we contact the local authorities. They come to your house, and then if you're not available, they can't find you or contact you, they would take that dog with them and keep trying to get a hold of you.
Break into your house, get the dog.
Yeah, and they have means to do that.
It's a police wellness check. So we get to the point where there's a reason to go do a wellness check.
Exactly.
And you call the police, and that's a normal service that they offer.
Free service.
Right.
Free government service. Yeah.
Right. But now something has to happen with the dog, right? The police don't offer that service to babysit the dog. What happens then?
So they would contact animal welfare until a family member or ideally you, the owner, would come and claim that pet. Now, we have another
Just
step.
answer this for me. Is there a person from your company that is taking care of my dog if I can't?
No, that's almost the business model, is that our costs are to make phone calls and initiate
You're
the
a
rescue.
concierge service.
Yeah, essentially.
And that's not terrible. I mean, that way, because if you had to put people in the city, like, or a city, that's, it gets expensive to have people to do that. But I mean, I'm sure there's dog walking apps like Uberish or Grubhub or whatever that you can use. I personally haven't looked into any of those, but I'm sure it exists, especially for people that live in cities like New York City, and that I think that puts him in a pretty good position to be able to scale it much easier. If you just need a call center, right? So there's plenty of call centers out there operating. You can pay per call, and if he's only gotten 4 calls out of 4 or 5 months, or had to make 4 calls in 4 or 5 months, that's great. Like that is extremely scalable if you can convince people to buy into that insurance. What is effectively an insurance policy. One thing I did notice in the app when he was scrolling through, or was scrolling through on the screen, it just said how long you're going to be away, and it was like it didn't seem like it had a notation of time. It just scrolled to like 22. Is that 22 minutes? 22 hours? I'm not sure.
And so you have 3 dogs that mean the world to you.
Yes.
What made you think of doing this app?
So I was driving and I almost got into a car accident. And rather than my life flashing before my eyes, my dog's lives flashed before my eyes because my family lives in Maryland. I'm in New York, and that terrified me. That's when I said, I can fix this issue with technology. And you would be shocked. When I go and talk to pet parents around New York City, they always say, wow, that is a genius idea. It's a real issue with pet parents. They don't have peace of mind.
How many users do you have now that think it's important?
And what does it cost?
It's $2.99 a month or $29.99 a year. It's very cheap.
And how many users do you have that paid?
I have 317 downloads and 102 subscriptions. Here's the thing, I've only spent $2,400 on marketing. The rest has been me bootstrapping in New York City.
That's not horrible. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I had no idea that people would actually give you $2.99. It's kind of like an emotional insurance.
And here's the thing, it's not just for dogs, it's for any pet. You see the cat right there that looks pretty sad. It's for cats, birds, dogs, but obviously...
So my challenge is this. The name Wolf you're never going to be able to keep that because it's a very common name.
Do you own that name?
No, I don't. The company name is Woof Help LLC.
So you didn't do enough homework to lock up the name, and you're going to have a lot of challenges with that. And all of what we're talking about here is going to go down the drain because someone's going to send you a cease and desist, and you're not even going to be able to take advantage of this opportunity right now. So I wish you the best of luck, but I'm out.
Okay, well, we're going to check out his website and social media and see if that's changed since then. But Woof Help LLC is good, but Woof, I feel like, doesn't necessarily... I mean, I guess it tells the story of what it is, but I mean, if you're including all these other pets in it, it could, it doesn't really... it's not super concise to, like, pet help or pet 911 or like a play on what's that the thing, life alert, like Woof alert, there you go, Woof alert, or pet alert, and something to that effect, to let pet parents know, like the opposite of life alert. But yeah, I don't think that's a reason not to invest, though. Like, you could change the name tomorrow. Like, you're so early in the game that changing the name is such a small piece. I feel like it's more that about or in my opinion, the $1 million valuation when it's still just getting started. And look, we always say niches in the riches, or riches in the niches, but it's tough. Like you know, it's not that many people that it's like a subsection of a subsection of a subsection of people that you can reach with this. And at $2.99 a month, you gotta sell a lot of 2.99s, and then you haven't even been in business long enough to know what the attrition rate is. That like how many people are gonna unsubscribe after how many months, and you got to really, figure after maybe 6 months to a year and a half, like 18 months, are people going to say, well, do I really need it? Or, and you're going to have turnover as far as pets passing away and people not maybe wanting it, to continue. But for peace of mind, I think, especially if you're a pet owner living in the city alone, not near family, don't really have friends that live too close to you, and you're always out on the go, I think I definitely think there's something to it.
I just don't see it. I'll tell you why. The problem with your entire premise is you're catering to the very, very small percentage of people who don't have friends or family within a geographic location. Because if I got sick, I would have one of my friends do this service for me.
So Robert, I'm on the streets of New York and I hear feedback. People talk to you.
I don't want you to waste your time with me because you're a good guy. So I'm out, but I think you've got it.
I mean, I have to say, I think it's super admirable and nice. You love your pets. It's really insurance, just in case. It's the peace of mind.
Exactly.
So I get that. But for me, I just don't see it as the right investment. I'm sorry. I'm out.
Okay, thank you, Larry.
I love flyers and I like crazy stuff. I thought you were completely nuts when you started, but now I see the merit in what you're doing.
Thank you.
You
might like this. So my costs right now to run Woof are less than $100 a month.
Because you have no employees, it's just you.
But that's the thing. I don't need employees until I at least scale to 5,000 plus
users. If you get 10,000 downloads, Archie, you can't have your cell phone blowing up and you're saying, what, you're dead, you're in a car accident, you're stuck in Atlanta. Like, you can't do that yourself. You have to build out a call center and everything else. I was warmed up a little bit, but not warm enough to give you $100,000. I'm out.
Look, I think it's a great
idea. For Pardo Fleet Solutions, we have a call center that we use for after hours calls, for breakdowns and stuff like that. We have our own call service that we like an in-house call service as well for our breakdowns that we go from east of the Mississippi. That we have a network of repair shops that we deal with, but so I think it's not that much to have a call center to answer calls. Like, I don't think that would be a problem, especially for the kind of calls that he's fielding, like, or even just to have like one person on staff or two people on staff. Like, yeah, maybe you might need like 3 so you could have like shifts and all, but at that point, like, that's a good problem to have. Like, that means that you have a product that people are actively buying and enough people are buying it. The other thing is if by rolling it out in select cities, you could realistically, like, you could have round the clock by having somebody in a different time zone, right? I guess in theory, like, you could have somebody in the Philippines or somebody in India or whatever, a call center there, which might even be cheaper. But in theory, like, you could have, coverage by just having like somebody on the West Coast and somebody on the East Coast and rotating through the time, the time zones like that. So, I mean, there's some logistics things to it, but I think that's a good problem to have. Like, that means you've scaled to a point where you have enough people, enough ground covered that you have people actually using the service.
Idea. The challenge is that in order to make a lot of money, you have to have a lot of subscribers.
Yeah.
What I look at is, okay, can it get to 1 million or 5 million subs, right? I don't see that. I just don't see a path from where you want it to be to big, great return for investor.
Well,
so for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
Okay, listen, thank you.
Good luck, RC. Stay with it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I didn't get a deal today, but that's okay. I think they gave me a lot of great advice, and I'm going to keep pushing through. I feel like they don't think that it's a big enough problem. I feel like they don't think that pet parents really worry about this, and that's honestly not true. They're not the ones in the streets talking to people. So I think they're going to regret not giving a deal to me.
Yeah, I mean, I I think that there's definitely people that are going to be concerned about this. So love seeing Shark Tank sprinkled in right there. It looks great. There for your pets when you can't be. So that statement is a little, I don't want to say it's misleading, but it is tough because you're not. I mean, you're not going to the house to take care of them. You're not a dog walking or sitting. I feel like it's almost like Woof, peace of mind for your pet's well-being. Because I think it's more about the well-being than if you're not there, like Wolf ain't going to show up to your house, right? They're going to send the cops. They're going to send animal services over to help take care of the pet for you until you get out of it. So, annual subscription is still $29.99, so 2 months free, $2.99 per month. 1 year subscription gifted pet parent. This is through the gift card. 3-tiered support structure that's automatically activated. I almost feel like you could do one for like grandparents. I love the dog with the curlers. Like I always say, you need faces, but in this case, pets kind of fit the bill there. Why does it say dream? Does it say dream time? Is this like a stock photo or something with a watermark? Come on, man. Come on. You could do better than that. If that's what I don't know. I've never heard of Dreams Time before, but yeah. Happy pet parents. So you got some testimonials there, which is great. And you have the app for both Apple and Android, which is also great to see. So on Facebook, we got 199 likes with a little bit of engagement, lots of dog photos, which is great to see. Past that eggnog. Let's see. On Instagram, we got 1,267 followers with definitely more engagement going on there. I wonder if instead of just like pet photos, I wonder if there's more like. See, like this has 53 likes, right? If something happens to you unexpectedly, the Woof app will know we rescue your pet. I mean, it is that simple. That it really is a scissor. So 53 likes there. I feel like things that are more along the lines of like something happens to you, who's going to take care of your pet? Maybe because like look at this one, right? So this is 21 likes, and if something unexpected without versus with, I don't know that you need to go down that route to be so direct, but like. Hit that pain point, right? What if, here you go. What if something, did you know there are over 30 million hospitalizations a year? What is pet? So this has 16 likes. Again, I feel like that's a little slow. I feel like there's a medium there between, pet photos and showing off the app and hitting that pain point of like, if something happens to you, what's going to happen. But I don't think RC wants to be such a downer either. Just judging from the way the content is structured. So I'd like to say I think you're gonna find that sweet spot with that. Yeah, who will know? I mean, it's just a lot of words in an image. That's not great for like Facebook ads for sure. You can only put like 10% or 20% of the image can be words. And over on LinkedIn, I didn't even say Twitter 108 followers and LinkedIn 173 followers on LinkedIn. That's actually pretty good for LinkedIn. Anyway, RC, I'd love to have you come here on the show for an interview. Just drop a comment down below and we'll get it scheduled. Like Dev here says, love your channel. Thank you so much, Dev. I appreciate you being a part of the super community. Thank you so much. I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care and go be super.